Hey, welcome to an episode of You Love Comic Books. This is a YouTube show. I showcase my recent comic hauls, comic speculations, and stuff from my collection. I got an awesome haul for you. This one is just stuff that I got at my local LCS last week. And let me tell you, I found some amazing stuff here. I didn't expect to spend this much. I'll tell you what I paid for everything in the end. But yeah, this is a great haul. So before I get into it, do me a favor and smash that like button. Helps with that YouTube algorithm. Ensures that more people will see this video. If you have questions, what you see, like what you see, you want to say hi, leave a comment. I'll get back to you accordingly. Like these type of videos, comic calls, comic speculations, comic collections, comic book dollar bin hauls, comic books in general. Well, you're at the right channel, so smash that subscribe button. Become part of You Love Comic Books conversation. Smash that bell for notifications. Let's do this. All right. I don't read this book, Rogue the Savage Land, but I saw this on a stand, and I thought this was an amazing J. Scott Campbell cover. It's not like I don't think it's a ratio variant. It's not really like it's going for anything, but I feel like, again, sometimes these covers, over time, people, the better ones kind of come out, and people want more of them, and I think this is definitely a really nice one. Hulk 25. I haven't been reading this. I think this is going to be my last issue until I have like 15 issues of this series to read. So I figure I'm going to stop buying this. That is a cool cover, though, with Thor and the Hulk. Maybe if I actually read it, I would know what's going on. Wonder Woman, Absolute Wonder Woman, number 8. I really like this series. This is a great issue. Sherman, I don't know the full name. They're back as the penciler again. Great series. Definitely, to me, like, I haven't read the other ones. I've only been reading Absolute Batman, Absolute Superman, and Absolute Wonder Woman. I stopped reading Absolute Superman. I don't really care for it. Absolute Batman is like here and there, but I enjoy it. But Absolute Wonder Woman has been the best one so far. Now, I heard Absolute Martian Manhunter is supposed to be pretty crazy. Green Lantern and Flash don't really interest me. We'll see where all these are going. But I like this one a lot. And then Batman Hush. I didn't read this one yet. That's an interesting cover, though. I don't know. I'll check it out. I don't know what to think of the series so far. But who cares? It's Jim Lee drawing Batman. I mean, that's why we're all here, guys. All right. Then there was a bunch of new stuff in the dollar bins. I picked up this one because I have issue 1, and I got myself issue 2. So I read that. Hopefully I can find the rest of them in the dollar bins. I mean, I do want to support the books, but I'm on a budget too. So if I can find these in the dollar bin, even better. But I hope that Charles Seal and Ryan Brown are getting everybody buying these at full price. Now, maybe this was in the dollar bin because there's like a spine tick or 2, but I don't care. I got to read. All right, this is kind of interesting. They didn't have issue 4, though, but I bought them anyway. Maybe I'll find issue 4. I didn't even know there was a comic book adaptation of this and that it was from Image Comics, of all places. The Mask of Zorro, starring Antonio Banderas. There's a 4th issue. It wasn't there, but I got these anyway. So, Mask of Zorro number 1, Mask of Zorro number 2, based on the blockbuster film. I remember that movie. It was pretty good. I was surprised by it. And Mask of Zorro number 3. I'm going to have to rebag some of these. All right, here we go. Warlock Infinity Watch number 33, late in the run. 35. I don't know where it ends. Is it at like 44 or something? I don't know. And then Warlock and Infinity Watch 36. Yeah, the last couple issues of this series are hard to get, and they do have a bit of value. I don't know. So I figured I'd grab those. Now they have this deal where if you buy 12, you get, if you buy 10, you get 12. They give you 2 for free. They ended up giving me another one for free, so I got, 13 for 10. This is interesting. Johnny Quest, The Real Adventures, number 9 in a newsstand from Dark Horse. I was looking this up. I could be wrong. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. I saw some prices for this book. I don't know. I have to see if there were any sales, but I grabbed it anyway. Final Fight number 3 with this awesome Poison versus, is his name like Cody or something? I don't know. I always loved that game, Final Fight. And that was like the precursor before Street Fighter 2 came out. Final Fight was out before that, and it was at a similar style. And I remember they brought a lot of the Final Fight characters into Street Fighter Alpha. Poison is an interesting character. She's basically just like the girl you fight. You know how these fighting games were. They had like 5 characters that you would fight. There'd be different color variants of them, and then you'd have the bosses. So Poison was in this comic. There's just one Poison, but when you're fighting in the game, there's like 100 poisons. There's a weird theory about this character, and I'm not going to tell you what it is here. It's a rabbit hole. Don't recommend you go down it. Teen Titans Go, number 21. I love grabbing any of these type of books, especially in the doll bin. People look for this stuff. The print runs weren't that huge. Very collectible. Hard to find in good condition because they're made for kids. Speaking of a book that's not in good condition, but I grabbed it anyway. Uncanny X-Men 303. This is... And I was like, what is this? And I realized this is the Pressman variant. That's right. Pressman had 4 variants. Now, this one is not in good condition. It looked like someone stepped on it, and it got ripped a little bit. Yeah. It's seen things. It's done stuff. Yeah, there's like a footprint here. I don't know if you can see it, but who cares? Uncanny X-Men 303, the Pressman variant. The big boy book out of all of them is the X-Men 11. In the silver, it has a silver background. I just sold that for $180, $175. Yeah, I think I sold it for $175. Not raw, not graded. I don't deal with that crap. No, I'm kidding. I love graded books. No, I don't. This one, even in a great condition, is not really worth that much. This is that, like, maybe if you had this mint condition, it'd be like a $40 book, but hey, I figured, why not? This one's in okay condition. Halo Fall of Reach, limited series from Marvel. This has a bit of value. And the last doll bin book, and again, okay condition, but doesn't matter. This is like a $20 book easily. SpongeBob Comics, number 80. United Plankton Pictures. This is towards the end of the SpongeBob run with this awesome cover. Who did the cover? The SpongeBob comics have a lot of great art in them. Rawl the Third did the cover and the interiors. So that's really awesome. Okay, here's the rest of the books, and this is why I was able to make. I felt it was worth making it just one video based on this store visit. I had a giant stack, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to turn those into 2 videos because there were some amazing books in that haul, and I didn't want to take away from these because these are all bangers too. So they've been redoing their back issue bins, and I've noticed a lot of new stuff, so I took a look, and I was shocked to see these prices that they were, and they did give me my 20% discount off of everything. So in theory, I'll tell you what I paid for everything. Wolverine, number 17. Iconic John Byrne cover in a newsstand. Price of $4.99. In theory, I guess I got it for $3.99. That is an amazing find. That is an amazing condition. In a newsstand for $3.99. This one's even better. This one's in an amazing condition too. And it's a newsstand. Another iconic cover. So it's interesting. 17 is that iconic John Byrne, and then 27 is that iconic Wolverine. I don't think there was an iconic cover for 37. I'm pretty sure there wasn't. But this is an iconic Jim Lee cover. Again, in a newsstand. I don't think I ever had a newsstand copy of this. But again, $3.99 actually, or $4, whatever. This artwork was used for the Wolverine video game from the Nintendo back in the day. This, I was shocked. This one's in decent condition. It's like a VF copy, maybe a little better. Marvel Comics Presents, number 72, the first issue of the Weapon X run. $3.99 or $4, whatever you want to say. That was the first book I saw when I was looking through the bins. And I'm like, all right, I'm going through all the bins now. And I was shocked that was that cheap. Decent, nice copy, high grade. I don't know how you would explain it. I would say like a VF plus. Man, this book during the pandemic or post-COVID stimulus checks, this was like $100 book for a minute, raw. I think that this was mispriced though. This book should not have been $5. This is like a $20 book easily. any day, all day. And I think that's even a low price. All right, this is an amazing book, and this thing's in excellent condition. It's not a newsstand, but I don't really care. Marvel Superhero Secret Wars number 10 for $3.99. I love getting this book anytime I see it. This is going to be one of the biggest books as we get closer to Secret Wars. Now, everybody during Secret Wars, what are the big books everybody wants from Marvel Superhero Secret Wars? Obviously, issue number 1. Issue number 3 was a big for a little bit because I had like the first appearance of Titania. That's kind of calmed down. 6 or 7 has that first Julia Carpenter. Again, that calmed down since Man Web came out, and that was cock-a-doo-doo poop crap. 8, obviously the big one, the big book with the origin of the black suit Spider-Man. That's the most expensive of the run, but this one is going to pick up. This is a book that sells for $10 to $50. This iconic Mike Zeck cover. This is one of the first comics that got me on comics when I was like 6 years old. And I remember I was like, whoa, because this is a gnarly cover. You know, there's some blood on here, the details of his costume, like there's like mech in there. It's not just some metal iron. That's an amazing. I got 2 more books for you, but that is an incredible find. This thing's like in near mint condition. Awesome. I couldn't believe this one was only priced, so basically $4. Uncanny X-Men 251 in a newsstand. This book was going crazy last year when Deadpool Wolverine came out, because there's this scene, they reenact this scene. And this has always been kind of an iconic cover with crucified Wolverine. That I couldn't believe it. That's insane. $3.99. One of the stores I goes to still has this. I mean, I don't think it'll ever sell. They have it on their wall for like $80. I don't think it's worth that, but it's definitely worth way more than the $4 I paid for this. That's amazing. All right, here's the last book. I would have said this was the last book, but this other book becomes the best book only because, and you'll see where I'm going. The Mighty Thor, number 339, third appearance of Beta Ray Bill. Priced at $10, but again, got this for like $8. Why did I get this book, though? I probably would not have bought it, because I already have 2 copies of this, and I don't need more. It is a Mark Jewelers. Amen. Yes, it is a Holy Mark Jewelers. This is actually my second Mark Jewelers copy. If you go all the way back into the archives of You Love Comic Books, probably go back to 2022, right? Yeah, I've been living here in Colorado for 3 years now, so 2022. And I went to a garage sale and I should have just bought everything if I knew. I got home and I realized like half the stuff I bought were all Mark Jewelers. And he had this one as a Mark Jewelers, and he had 338 as a Mark Jewelers, and 337. The 337, which is the first appearance of Beta Ray Bill, that one would have been amazing, but the book was like torn in hand. Like, it was not in good condition, but it was still a Mark Jewelers. So this is my second Mark Jewelers of this. And if anybody watches my videos, I always kind of razz on the whole Mark Jewelers thing. I think it's kind of funny. Not the collectibility. I think that's great. I love finding these things. I love, they didn't really have variants back then. There weren't, now it's like insane. There's like 10 covers for each book. But back then, this was the book. And the only difference back at this point is that there was a newsstand and then there was a direct copy. So you'd have like the Spider-Man head in the corner, or you'd have a newsstand. But then you get the Mark Jewelers, and that adds another variant. Of course, there's also the Canadian price variant. Whatever. And then there's this is really cool. That's a great get. Again, I always make jokes about it, saying like, they were playing into the fears. Mark Jewelers, they're sold on military bases. And people would, when they're off, if they're in the military and they, they're like getting nervous that their girlfriend is going to be around. The girlfriend, they didn't lock it up. They didn't lock it, They're away. They're going to be gone maybe a year. And they're like, oh, I better buy her. Thank you. Thank you, Beta Ray Bill, for letting me know about Mark Jewelers so I could drop. Let's see, how much is this? Young Lovers, $640. That's all. I mean, yeah, remember, this is like, what, 83? 83. That's, oh, I'm gonna buy my sweetie this ring from this comic book. Bonghead Joe and Hippie Pete won't be able to get her, well, thanks to Mark Jewelers. Oh, God. I'm going to make that joke all the time. You guys are if you guys watch any of my videos, you've already heard me say that. While the guy's off in the fighting or whatever, mop duty at the mess hall, whatever. His girl's out there partying it up, Jenny style from Forrest Gump. Hopefully not how Jenny ended. Hanging out with Bonghead Joe and Hippie Pete. Well, I don't know. Young man off fighting the military. Thank God for Mark Jewelers. She knew she couldn't hawk that jewelry that she got. All right, I'm going to stop it there. You guys are like, there's no more comics. The show, this is it. So if you know what, I'm going to end it. Which one? What do you think? I'm going to put both these covers. Both these covers. You know what? Let's put this cover in here too. Nah, that's not going to hold. All right. Again, thank you for watching this video. Thank you for putting up with my shenanigans and all that. If you like this video, do me a favor and hit that like button, leave a comment or whatever, smash that subscribe button, become part of You Love Comic Books conversation, smash that bell for notifications. Hey, feel free to hit that thank you button. If you, if you like what you see, you find these shows entertaining, feel free to hit that thank you button. I would appreciate that. And check out the links to all the captions of my video for my Instagram. Follow me there for comics in the hole, comics from the collection. Also, check out my eBay for comics, trades, toys, video games, vintage tees, and more. You gotta see a previous video here. You gotta see a previous video there. You gotta smash the subscribe button. I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good one. Bye-bye.